I'm a big fan of reading. Big fan of reading. Books have changed my life. But if you're one of those people you don't like reading, books aren't really your thing, there is one chapter of one book that I suggest everybody reads, especially men, because it's that important. In this video, I'm going to explain what that is, why I believe this to be true, and if you apply it, it will change your life for the better. Hey, what's up, folks? Jimmy here, ingrained to train, back again, more heat for you guys. And those of you who follow me know Jimmy's a nerd. Let's face it, I am a nerd. I read a lot. I'm always got my nose in a book. I'm listening to a podcast. I'm attending seminars. I'm always trying to learn new mindsets, different outlooks on common topics. I'm always trying to level up my skills. I'm always studying because I'm just obsessed with learning. I'm obsessed with growth. I'm always diving into different books. And one book that I read years ago, one of my favorite books, probably should reread it again, but one of my favorite books, and it's one of most popular books that's ever been sold, especially in the psychology mindset realm, and that is The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Great book. Again, it was when I first got into reading back when I was, my mid-20s. That was one of the first ones that I read, and it was one of those ones that was so good I couldn't really put it down. So even though it was a big book, I read it pretty quickly. But there's one law in there. Again, if you are not a reader, if books aren't your thing, you feel like you don't have time or books are boring, yada, yada, yada. One chapter. We all can read one chapter, right? We all can read one chapter. So I suggest listening to it. You could probably find it somewhere on YouTube or even just read the summary. Doesn't matter. But the point of the matter is this chapter is so important that if you apply it, it will change your life. And it's chapter 30, it's law 34. And I'll do you one better. I even just go ahead and read it because I don't want to screw it up. I want you to get the full message. But what its title is, Act Like a King to be treated like one. This type of self-confidence is contagious. Others will believe it, and you can ask for and receive what you want. Your belief in yourself becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay, so chapter 34, treat yourself like a king. And it's so important because we tend to do a lot of things for everybody else, right? We tend to do a lot for our kids. We tend to do a lot for our bosses, our jobs, students, athletes we may met, whomever. We tend to do so much for everybody else that we don't find time for ourselves. And as men, a lot of things I see online with men nowadays, they talk about non-submissive women, right? You got to understand that part of us as men and being masculine and being strong is how do we carry ourselves? Okay, how are we carrying ourselves? How are we showing up? And what I see a lot of men who are out of shape. I see a lot of men that can't walk upstairs without being out of breath. I see a lot of men that can't bench press their own body weight. Shoot, there's men that can't even do push-ups. Like I don't see a lot of strong men, not physically strong, not mentally strong, people pleasing, overly emotional. You know what I'm saying? They don't really pour any energy into themselves, so they try to make up for it in other ways by pleasing everybody else around it and hoping that they get treated some sort of way. It starts with you. And this goes for men and women. It starts, how do you treat yourself? How do you show up? How are you showing up every day? How are you taking care of yourself? How are you making yourself a priority? Because if you don't make yourself a priority, why should anybody else? Think about that for a second. If you aren't investing in yourself, if you're not taking 1 hour a day to exercise, if you're not taking 15 minutes a day to meditate, to clear your mind, if you're not taking time to buy the best quality groceries so you can eat right and be healthy and live a better life, if you're not pouring into yourself to learn new skills and become, a more valuable person, why would anybody else make you a priority? Why should somebody else, as a man, why would I expect a woman to treat me like a king if I'm acting like a prince, like a child? If I'm not pouring into myself, if I'm not being a leader, if I'm not pouring into myself to be the most valuable person I can be, if I'm not coming to the table, with a strong foundation, well, why would I expect anybody to submit to my lead? How can I lead anybody if I'm not taking care of myself? So I want you to understand, this goes for everybody, not just men, but you want to be a person that pours into themselves before you pour into others, because you can't pour from an empty cup. And too many people today are miserable because they're essentially trying to pour from an empty cup. You want to be a servant to others. You want to be a person that is willing to help others, but you can't do it while sacrificing your needs and your growth and your healing. You can't do that. But that's a mistake that we all make, including myself in the past. You have to make yourself the priority. Okay? And here's just some tips that I have that really help me out, and I think it goes across the board. But first things first, we got to get stronger. Men, women, get in the weight room. Get stronger. Hit the weights. There's so many health benefits that comes with lifting weights, but also the mental aspect of lifting weights. I don't know where my mental health would be at if I was not in the weight room multiple times a week. Okay? And I'm not saying you have to try to be a CrossFitter or aspire to be a fitness model, but just get to the gym 3 30-minute strength training sessions a week. So good for you. Okay? So get stronger. Stronger body, stronger mind. Then I suggest everybody figures out a way to walk 30 minutes a day. Doesn't have to be 30 minutes at once. It could be 3 10-minute walks a day. But try to get outside and move your body every single day. Again, so many health benefits of just being outside, getting sunlight, feeling the breeze. If you live near like a forest preserve or nature, get with nature. It's so calming and de-stressing. Just think about disconnecting so you can reconnect with yourself and fill your cup back up. Get outside, walk, lift weights, walk. And also, you want to make sure that you eat enough protein. Okay, I'm not going to get into whether you should be vegan, paleo, keto, intermittent fat. I don't care. Pick a vehicle that works for you, that fits your lifestyle with the foods that you enjoy to eat for the most part. But you want to make sure that you're eating enough protein. Most people don't eat enough protein. They're like, oh, Jimmy, no, I eat a lot of protein. I eat a lot of protein. Then when I have them track their meals, most people, especially women, get like 60 grams or less of protein. We got to up that number up. We got to up that number. Protein does so many things in the body. It's, vital for lean muscle mass. It's, good for the metabolism. You want to make sure that you're getting enough protein. So I say, if you're an active person, it should be minimum 1 gram per pound of body weight if you're an active person. If you're not quite as active, you can drop it down to like 0.6 to 0.8 grams per pound of body weight of protein. But you want to get your protein in, especially if you struggle with cravings, because protein is one of the most satiating macronutrients, meaning it makes you feel fuller. So if you feel full, guess what goes down? Cravings, right? So you want to make sure that you get your protein. However you get it, whether it's plant protein, if it's red meat, chicken, eggs, combination, I don't care, just get it in. Now I will say this, if you are vegan, they have found that you probably want to get actually a higher number of protein than you would if you were mostly getting it from animal protein. It has to do with the amino acid profile in plant protein compared to animal protein. So they suggest that you get a little bit more if you are going the vegetarian vegan route. But again, you just want to make sure that you're getting enough, whatever diet that you choose to follow, hit that protein goal. Then the next thing, make sure that you get enough sleep. You can't stress that enough. We don't sleep enough. We stay up late, we go down the YouTube rabbit hole, we're scrolling through TikToks. We binge on Netflix before we know it. It's after midnight. We got to be up in the morning to get ready for work or get the kids ready for school. And we don't get the amount of sleep that we get, and we just pound coffee and energy drinks and pre-workouts just to get through the day. Do a better job of prioritizing sleep. When you prioritize your sleep, you're going to look better, you're going to feel better, you're going to be healthier, metabolism's going to be better, your mood's going to be better, your mental health's going to be better. Sleep's like the superpower that we don't take advantage of, because it's so simple, but we don't take advantage of it. We deserve quality sleep. Get to bed earlier, keep your bedroom dark, keep it cool, invest in a good pillow. I like using a weighted blanket. A weighted blanket, you know, I sleep pretty deep with the weighted blanket on me. Do what you got to do to make sleep a priority. And then make sure, you know, when you're out and about, that you present yourself well. How do you dress? How do you show it? How do you groom yourself? People, I hate to say it, but people judge books by their cover. It's hard to take somebody serious that shows up and they look like, you know, they're homeless, or they look like they really don't care about themselves. They may be a great person. They may be a really intelligent person, but who's going to take them seriously? Most people, they judge you within the first few seconds of seeing you. But if you're dressed really nice, you're put together, you not necessarily have to get like the most expensive clothes, but be well put together. Is it clean? Is it ironed? Do you smell good? Are you groomed? People are going to judge you right away. And if you present yourself like a person of high value right away, you didn't put yourself higher up on the scale, and they'll be more receptive to you. They'll be more welcoming to you. Look at you differently. But if you just act like you just rolled out of bed and go about your day, gonna be kind of hard for people to take you seriously. So make sure that your physical appearance is on point as well. Treat yourself like a king or a queen. If you're a woman, listen to this. Pour into yourself. Be the best version of yourself. Okay, you start with those tips and watch how everything will just dramatically change for you. Your mental health, physical health, your social interactions, everything will change when you begin to pour into yourself, and more opportunities are going to manifest for you. I promise you. All right, so that's all I got for you in this video. If you like it, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell, get the notifications. Make sure you support the channel. And if you really want to help support me, share the video, guys. Share the video for me. You know, get the link, put it on your Facebook, share it with your friends, invite some people to watch, comment what you think. If you got any tips as well, or some ways you pour into yourself, drop it in the comment below. Let's have the conversation. Let's help each other grow. That's what this channel is about. And with that said, I'm checking out, guys. Talk to you soon.